Abandoned by FoggyGlassEye. We were passing through this roadside town on the way to our summer home in Washington when we decided to make a pit stop at their supermarket. The wife, as always, deliberate in choosing the snacks we need for the road ahead. Even with that considered, I'm sure we spent under a half an hour in the store, not much time at all. So when we heard a banging in our trunk after putting a few miles behind us, the wife and I were quite surprised. I assumed that some kind of critter somehow wormed their way in, but when I parked at a rest stop and popped the trunk, I was shocked to find a girl inside. She couldn't have been much more than 10, but she had the eyes of someone much older. She held out a few grubby dollar bills and asked us to accept the money in exchange for taking her farther away from that place. The girl was desperate, scared even. Before I could even start making a decision, another car rolled up right behind ours. She started crying, screaming, begging us to get out of there, but I just stood in place instead, like a deer in headlights. The woman driving the car stayed behind the wheel, but the man in the back seat stepped out. He looked professional in an expensive suit, hair so short I could see his scalp. He just smiled at me politely, all business, and told me that the girl was a runaway who had to come home with them. "We apologize for the inconvenience, of course, but we must be going," he said, holding a hand out to the girl. "Don't make me go back there," she cried, hiding behind my wife. The man sighed. "Missy, you're in quite enough trouble as it is. Don't add to it." "I'll be punished," the girl cried. "Grounded, of course, but who wouldn't be after running away from home?" the man said. "Your parents are worried sick, of course, and so are Miles and Christopher. You want to see your brothers again, right?" Without a word, the girl walked to the man, who places a hand on her shoulder. "Get in the car, and we'll take you home in a moment." After she entered the back seat, he turned to us. "Have a nice night." Without another word, he returned to the car. "Should we call the police?" the wife asked. "I think we should get out of here," I admitted. We left that girl behind, and while I regret doing so, I'm sure I'd do it again if I had a second chance. The wife made me promise to stop by that town on the way back last week. I don't know what she expected, but we were both shocked at what we found instead. We went through the main street of the town, then the supermarket, then the suburbs. Not a soul in sight. The whole place was abandoned.